So today we have to talk about MYX Finance. Now, this is a project built on Binance. I made a video about it on August 5th. And since August 5th, it has performed extremely well. So if you got this on August 5th, you would have gotten some decent pricing if you would have got out close to the top here. So I made it around this area here, August 5th. So hopefully some of you made some money off of it, hopefully so. But hey, depending on what time you got in, because August 5th, it was going absolutely crazy from 40 cents, really from 30 cents here on August 5th, all the way up to the highest level on August 5th that it reached was like $1.50. So hopefully you didn't get in later on in the day on August 5th. Anyways, I'm going to talk about this today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's cover MYX Finance. So this right here, as you can see, is MYX Finance. And like I was mentioning before, I made a video for this on August 5th. And it did decent, and then it had a pullback. I also mentioned, hey, don't be buying at these tops. Don't be buying at these tops. When you see things are pumping, kind of take a breather. Let it take a breather when it's pumping. But anyways, to anyone who got in early on August 5th, shout out to you guys. But if you got in late and you had to wait a little bit for your gains to play out. But anyways, the MYX Finance play was a good play. It got all the way up to like $2.32. I think it actually got higher. It got to $2.43 on August 8th. So if you guys got in when I called it, like the low dollar areas, I think I might have called it around like 80, 60, 70 something cents like that. I don't know. But anyways, it did pretty well, and now it's kind of pumping again. You can actually see over here that MYX Finance is also inside of the top trending and top gainers for the projects here on CoinGecko. So it's doing pretty well. The holders lost some holders over the last 2 weeks. So I lost about 300 holders here in the last 2 weeks. But that's just because it pumped and now it's pulling back, and people are realizing their gains and selling. So I really just kind of wanted to come here and talk about what we're about to see here next in MYX Finance. And for those of you who don't know what MYX Finance is, they are actually on they're on Binance Smart Chain. They're built on Binance Smart Chain. You can see down here. I think they have some bridges. No, it's just Binance Smart Chain. But yeah, they're built on Binance Smart Chain. Here is their website is like a DeFi project, so you can see trade alpha permissionless, where the future of perpetuals happens. So this is the futures of the perpetuals market, the future of the perpetuals market. So it's pretty interesting to see them coming out with a DEX on Binance, and this looks like a pretty professional trading setup. Like if you look at their trading charts, it looks pretty professional, and it looks like something that you would actually want to use if you're trading. Like it looks pretty good, right? I can't say nothing bad about their trading setup here. It looks very good actually. So shout out to them for that. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and move on from that. If anyone wants to come and check out their DeFi side of things, you can go ahead and do that. But what I'm here to talk about is the price action that we're seeing inside of MYX Finance. So this is a post that they posted on Twitter. It says, less than 24 hours remain. Cast your invaluable vote now. So they're voting on some BNB stuff here. So pretty interesting to see that they're trying to be, a prominent figure in the BNB Binance community. So I think MYX Finance is probably going to be one of those projects that's going to do pretty well on Binance. It just got listed to this exchange Coin One. So they're also on MYX. That's what I'm looking at it now. Just got listed onto LBank. Well, not just got listed to LBank, but earlier on in the month, last month they got listed to LBank. But anyways, let's look at some pricing here for MYX Finance. Now, what I'm seeing just from the first look of this, like this is the daily chart. There's not enough info. Like the percent hour trend exhaustion can't even show where the trend is going right now because there's not enough info on the daily chart. So I'll have to look at the 4 hour. But as for the MACD is looking like it's switching over to some buying volume. The MACD has sold off a good amount. There is a possibility that there could be a little bit more selling on the MACD. So what I would say is if we do not pass $1.26 If we do not get past $1.26, then you probably need to run the other way and not be buying at these levels. Because if we get rejected at $1.25 trying to get to $1.26, then that next level down here is this Fibonacci down here at 98 cents. So that is a level that you do have to be aware of and avoid. You know, you don't want to get stuck. But not only that, we might have an even further pullback here for MYX Finance. Like when you look at the Fibonacci's here and when you look at the 4-hour chart, it does look like it's about to have a nasty pullback. And I'll tell you why. Like, all right, so the %R trend exhaustion here, the blue line represents the long-term trend. The white line represents the short-term trend. So you can see the short-term trend start to go bullish here, and then the crypto, the project, it starts to increase, right? And then once the short-term trend starts to go bearish here, you start to see that decrease in the price. And then when you see the blue bar down here with that blue arrow on top of it, that is when the reversal to the upside comes. That's when the trend to the downside is overexhausted, and then the uptrend comes. But notice how the short-term line increases and goes up, but the long-term line stays stagnant and sideways. This is showing us that the long-term trend is still bearish for MYX Finance. When I say long trend, I'm just saying long trend from the perspective of the 4-hour chart, which could be 4 hours into the future, or it could be a day into the future or a week into the future. That's kind of how the 4-hour chart works. It works, through the hours of the day and through the next few days. That's what the 4-hour chart is really tracking. Pretty much like the next few days, almost like the next week too. And then the daily chart is tracking like the weekly movement. The weekly chart is tracking like the weekly and the monthly movements. So, that's kind of how the timelines are moving here. So for this 4-hour chart, it is showing that the long-term trend is bearish for MYX Finance, which could look like us having this next pullback, right? Like the long-term trend here could end up pulling back, right? Or the short-term trend could end up pulling back, bringing us down here to this 98 cent Fibonacci support, and then the long term can continue sideways, and that could be what sparks the downtrend here. And the problem with a downtrend at 98 cents with MYX Finance is that MYX Finance has not had enough time to create support and resistance areas. It has not. There's not been any levels that we really had as support and resistance between 60 cents down here all the way up to $1. So from 60 cents to $1, you're looking at a risk of having a sharp dive downwards from $1 straight to 60 cents. That's kind of what it looks like here. But you could argue that this right here is a support, because we kind of did see it come down here and land as a support right here. And then you could also see we used it a little bit as a support here. And you'll also see that even more if we come over here to the 30-minute chart. You will actually see we did use that area as support. So if we are going to go off of that, then if we break this 98 cent / $1 support area, the next level for us to go would be to either try to break out again or to continue to pull back here and then stopping at 83 cents. And then if we cannot hold 83 cents and break past this $1 level again, then that's when we go down to 60 cents. So that's kind of what you got to watch out for there. And then when you look over here on the %R trend exhaustion, you can also see the trend is currently going into the downtrend. You can see that we are overexhausted on the buying side. We're overbought. So that's why you've seen that pullback happen there. And now you're probably going to see that trend, like I mentioned here, slowly but surely bringing it down to $1. And if it breaks this level, we will end up seeing 80 cents. So that's what we're going to be watching out for. Then not only that, you also have to think about Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to pull back, it will bring MYX Finance down with it. Bitcoin is at a pretty critical support. The long-term trend for Bitcoin is still up, right? But the short-term trend has now pulled back with the %R trend exhaustion. So that's just one thing that you would want to watch out for here when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, looking back here at the MYX Finance MACD, the MACD is pretty bearish. The MACD has sold off a lot. So I would definitely say don't don't go dumping your money in right now. Let it pull back. 83 cents to 60 cents is a good buy at this moment. But right now, anything else is not looking like a good buy. So 83 cents to 60 cents. And I'm leaning more towards the 60 cents rather than the 80. Like I'm looking more towards this support here. Because if Bitcoin pulls back to like 99K or 104K, like I'm expecting it to, then that's when we see stuff like MYX Finance pulling back harder. And this is like the last pullback before the last pump in the market. So you don't want to get burned now inside the market. If you're going to get in, wait until it bottoms. Anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. As always, I'll be back with another video.